Hi everyone. It's me, Sailor Moon, Serena here. And today I'm going to talk about, you know, um, why I still like the Deke Sailor Moon. And I know there's a lot of folks in the Sailor Moon followership who hate the Deke Sailor Moon or unlike it. You know, first off, the sagas. Now you're going to hear some Sailor Moon followers tell you, oh, they shift the saga. Oh, they shift the tales that were being told. They did not. You still had, you still had all the things still going on. They played out the same way. Yeah, they may have shifted what was being said, but they were still playing out the same way. So I like the sagas that are being told, you know, about, watching me, grow up from being a four-between-year-old that didn't know how to fight to learning how to fight. Then learning how to be bold and fearless. And then also, meeting the other sailor fighters along the way, like Amy and Ray and Lita and Mina. Um, And also, you still have some big sagas, like learning if Darien was Tuxedo Mask. That's still, even in High, that's still a saga. It's still in there. Reenie and her, and her dealings, that's still there. They didn't shift that out at all. And Molly and Nephrite having their thing, that was still in there too. Dealing with Alan and Ann, all those things still played out and were still there. Now, a lot of them will tell you that it's no good due to names being skimmed or street names or near names being shifted out. First off, why do so many folks care so much about what names are? I watched the Deke Lee Sailor Moon, and I don't care if they have Latinus or Frenchis or Spanish or Hiveris or, Farcius or Hellenish or Blacklandish borrow names instead of having Dawnish borrow names. It doesn't take away from, the saga, what's being told. And I still like it, you know. And some folks out there make a big deal about the sailor fighters being, kidnapped instead of being slain, as if it shifts, as if it takes away from something. No, when we still go to fight Queen Beryl, it's still a hard fight. No need of they shifted around. I still like it. So why make a big deal about, because I don't make a big deal out of the sailor fighters being taken instead of being slain. All right. A lot of other folks, get irked and they'll say, "Oh, that some of the fighting and some of the wrestling was taken out." Well, I still like the fighting, and I still like the wrestling. I mean, yeah, it's striking. There's strikes going on most of the time, and that's the fighting. But still, I like it. How they do the strikes, and it doesn't irk me that some of the blood was taken out or this or that. And a lot of folks out there, think that it's unwatchable, but it still is. To me, I like it. It was the Sailor Moon that I grew up on, that many folks grew up on. Some of them don't like it now, but there was the one they grew up on. There's a lot of why I like it. All right? Because when I think of Sailor Moon, that's what I think of. Because it was the first Sailor Moon I saw. you know. And a lot of folks out there are going to say, oh, well, it wasn't what Naoko Takaguchi wanted. First off, Toei and even Deke had freedoms. And Deke Lee and the Walt Disney business had freedoms with their Sailor Moon at the time that they had it. So, and I don't care if it's not what someone wanted. You know, I still like it. Even if it's not, even if something, you know, even if it's not the way that it was supposed to be told. And they'll say, some folks say, oh, well, you can't how can you like it when some sagas were skipped over, or, you know, or some things were cut out? Oh, well, some sagas were skipped over. Sorry, but that is what happened. And some things were cut out. But it doesn't but it doesn't irk me. I don't get angered over it. I like it the way it is, you know? And so many folks make a big deal about things, but I don't. You know? I like it. It's not flawless, but I still like it. Alright? And I know that this might put me, and I know that I'm not alone, because there are some folks, you know, in the Sailor Moon followership who do like the Deep Glee Sailor Moon. Maybe not as many as you would think, but there are. And at the end of the day, I like it. And there's the grounds why I like it. Alright? So, it is what it is. Alright? Alright. So that's the end of this film. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you later.